Hey everyone, Leilani Compton with Many Customers Media, and I am here in Nashville with an all-star cast who are going to answer my very first question, which is, what are you most proud of here in Tennessee? Let's talk about that. So, have you go first.
All right. My name is Meredith Gilliland. I'm the principal of Eakin Elementary School in Bedford County, and I am most proud of my students. They are incredible little humans, and we start and end each day with positive affirmations. And this year, it is, I'm an Eakin Einstein, I am loved, I am seen, I am heard, and that's really been our fuel this year for everything that we do. So I'm proud of my students.
Hello, I'm Cary, Holman. I'm the Director of Schools in Franklin County. And one of the things that I'm proud of, I'm really proud of our district's efforts in wanting the desire to educate all in an all-inclusive model in such that we are providing them the necessary supports that they need, really taking the time to identify what those supports are.
Excellent.
I'm Jenny Crabtree. I'm the Federal Program Supervisor for Franklin County Schools. And every year, when our new director came on, he gave us a word of the year. And this year, our word is intentional. And I'm most proud that almost everything that I do now, I look at it with a very intentional lens. Is this professional development? Is this necessary? Is this needed? What's the intentionality behind it? These principals meetings, we don't want you to come in and waste your time. Let's be intentional with what we are giving with you all. Can we just send it in an email? If so, that's what we're going to do. So we're trying to be very intentional with our work, and that has just really guided a lot of the things that I'm doing this year and trying to be very intentional with what I do.
I love that. All right.
Hi, I'm Rachel Shields. I'm the secondary supervisor in Franklin County. And to echo off what these two have said, I think I'm most proud to work in Franklin County and have my child go through our school system. He just started about a month ago in the school system, and I am super excited to have him there, and I'm proud to work in Franklin County.
I'm Amy Sanders, elementary supervisor in Franklin County with these two, and I'm most proud of it. Kind of piggybacks off of what Jenny was saying about being intentional, but I think the last year we have been really intentional about what we push out to our principals and making sure they understand that data and it's meaningful to them instead of just pushing things to them that they might not understand, or it just gets covered up in their mailbox. So
This is awesome. Okay, so it's organizational. All right, so we obviously are also reacting to change, right? There's been a lot of change going on in the market. Without maybe going too far in depth, what do you see the challenge being in the next year, maybe 2, maybe 5 years? Let's start there. Go ahead, Meredith.
I think it's that we are preparing our students for careers that don't exist. So we are educating in a way for a lot of the teachers in my building who are on permits. That means they did not go to school for education. They are teaching our students the way they were taught. They're pulling from that experience. And I think we have to look at things a different way. And I think you said earlier today, doing things the way because we've always done it this way, I think we have to break out of that. And so that's a change that I think that we have to embrace sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and Dr. Holman, you talked about that too. You're definitely on board with that. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could sit and speak in that regard, particularly the challenges that we face is that of the increasing amount of disconnect that there is with home, school, state, because of the sheer number of mandates and the expectations. It's causing individuals to have an uneasiness of the waters that we're now treading. And so as a leader, we're constantly having to be very intentional, once again, with how we approach things with our district, not only our teachers and leaders, but how we get that across to parents, because options are most definitely there, but really taking the time to respect and value the voice of all stakeholders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, rather than discounting them by like, oh yeah, it's a parent again. What?
Right.
Yeah, because we know we've done, maybe not you guys, but it's been done where that's been discounted. But yeah, we're in a new age. I'm glad you said it that way. Right, go ahead.
I'm just thinking about brick and mortar. We can no longer be a part of this brick and mortar that we've had. You know, the little red schoolhouse when I was growing up, I looked forward to it. what do we need to do to have children look forward to educating again, to get them back into the system? Maybe it's not coming into the brick and mortar. Maybe it is staying at home and learning virtually. But how do we get the excitement back? And I really feel like the excitement is gone, and we've got to get it back.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you use the word home, because I don't know why you can't just put couches in everywhere and let them wail around in their pajamas and slippers again. Because we're in a different mood. It's just a different informality, right? Or go home. Go ahead.
I think just that unknown and the change, and ensuring that every stakeholder is equipped to make that change. It's unknown. We don't know what's coming, and I guess making sure as leaders we're ready, as teachers we're ready, students, families, everybody, to embrace this new world that I know I'll see and feel the impact in my career.
Yeah.
Kind of this along the same lines as Jenny, but I think our teachers are also overwhelmed by all of the things going on and all of the mandates from the state and the other places that we're just asking them to do a lot of things. And so I think, finding educators who is a problem. I think we'll continue to have that as a struggle, but I also think making sure that the ones that we have enjoy teaching.
Yeah. It's in a time of change. I think what you just said is really important. And Dr. Holman, you said this earlier when you spoke, and I think you mentioned it too. The hold hands while we're going through this togetherness is a very important feeling for everybody. I think America-wide, right? It's not even just education. Like, we've all been through an amazing amount of trauma in the last 4 years, and it just seems like everything's falling apart. But I want to now go back to the bright side, like really have us sort of finish off this time together with, like, what do you hope for now? Like, what do you want for the educational outcomes? What do you want for the children? What do you hope for? Let's go back the other direction so we can just switch it up. Okay, so
It's hard being
you
on the
first.
end.
You're on deck.
So I think our hope moving forward is that teachers and students regain that joy for coming to school and learning and being excited about the things that they're doing, whether that be using the technology that we have or trying something new, or just getting to a point where kids and teachers are happy to come to school again.
I like it. All right.
Yes, I'm just thinking about everybody embracing this change from the top down, and I think it's our whole entire nation. I mean, we all have to be on board with this. I don't know.
Yeah.
My hope is that Tennessee will revamp their testing, and that a teacher's value or a student's value is no longer based on what happens in that month of May after that test is taken.
Yeah, I want to stop on that for just a second, because I completely agree with you. But I want to come out. I just want everybody to be aware of this. The reason a corporation runs, like, you got to check in for your time thing, or they run tests or whatever, it got pushed off on education a good 50 years ago. The reason for the heavy testing is because the start of a failure pattern, right? I would contend, and we talked about this a lot today, that we reverse the failure pattern by reversing structure. Like, we change the way we're structured. We have a hope of getting rid of it altogether, because it's immaterial. It's now should be embedded in the courseware or in how we actually do things, rather than like, let's just run a test on everybody. Because you only do that in a manufacturing line because the eggs are going out, some of them are rotten and people are opening them up in the stores and going, well, these ones are broken and these ones smell, I'm not buying these. And then you've got the retail outlets calling you as an egg manufacturer and going, what the heck, I'm not buying from you anymore, right? This is what's happening to schools. The reason you're being tested is because quality control is down. Why are we manufacturing? We're a manufacturing pattern. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe the eggs are getting broken, right? Like, eggs are really expensive. Don't you love this analogy that I brought with eggs? Isn't this wonderful?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Holman, what do you
So
think?
in that regard, several things. First of all, my hope is that as educators, that we be so mindful of our journey that it's beyond that of a book, it's beyond that of a score, but more so on the experiences and the joys that come along the way. When I hear individuals talk in the regard of broken systems and scores and all of those different aspects, it saddens me as an educator, because when you start thinking about statistical reports, education is the very first thing to be put on a report to show what isn't working. But we as educators that are in the room have to be reminded, and I said this earlier, that students will always remember the encounters, the experiences. And for me as an educator of 30 years, if I know that I can lay my head down at night and rest assured knowing that I have provided supports and love the way that I would expect my own child to receive, then I'm at peace with that. And so therefore, and I tell them all the time, I hate to get off on this piece, but so you got me up here, that I refuse to allow my peace of mind to ever be compromised.
No, I get it.
Such that in education, there are so many unannounced components, the traumas that we deal with, but yet at the same time, the hope is to every educator that we have a work that supersedes that ever of a test score or label.
Yes, I get it. Yeah, I completely agree with you. So you got to focus on what actually is the truth rather than what you're being measured under. You know what my mind just flashed on, and Meredith, I'll let you talk just 1 second. My mind flashed on, like, nobody goes to the car manufacturers and go, after only 3 years, my leather was starting to peel on the seat. What the heck? You're total failure, right? Like, why is the dashboard starting to crack, right? You're a total failure, right? Like, why are we doing this? Like, okay, all of you car manufacturers need to take a test and figure out whether we even like pale blue cars. Like, we don't, you need to take a test again. We don't do this anywhere else. We do this here, but we do this in a punishing way. And I think it's structural. And I know you guys know I have a really heavy-handed opinion on that, but I don't think I'm wrong. I want to see this be just a pure joy arena. I really want to be on that same table with you, right? Like, wouldn't that feel great? That's where the kids are. They come in kindergarten, they're just joyous to be around, and then there are hormones that come in later, so it's not all cake, right? But they should be feeling kind of almost the same by the time we graduate them out, right? They go tripping off into life and have this fabulous life. Don't we want that? We do, right? Okay, good. All right, Meredith.
I'm just going to piggyback off what Dr. Holman said, that really my hope for our future in education, whatever that may look like, and after our conversation about AI, I think that we're all a little panicked, but I think as long as we, at least for me and in my building, if my students and my staff know that they are, just like you said, loved, that they are seen and that they are heard. And I think that translates, especially with the adults that I manage in my building, that love is me showing them that they're valued, that their time is valuable, that their weekend time with their family is important, that they are heard, is that I'm asking for that feedback, not just at the end of the year educator survey, which was emailed out this week, but all year long. And then that they're seen, that I'm grateful that they're there, that they're not forgotten about, that each group in our building is part of the big picture, that it's not, even our teachers and our portables, they're not forgotten about. So it's that, I think that message, at least I hope that my staff and students leave each day knowing that.
Yeah, I think if we attain that, we've done the base minimum. And believe it or not, we're not actually doing that everywhere.
No.
So if you guys achieve that, like, I love you to pieces. I will hug you every day, because that's really what needs to be done. I totally agree with you. This whole thing about balancing AI with humanity, it definitely starts there. So you guys are definitely on the right page. Okay, well, I love this, and I loved being with all of you today, and I hope that you had something taken away from us at Learning Council. I really learned from you, and I'm in love with Nashville. I almost want to move here. I'm just saying.
You should.
I should. I really should. We should have a party. Okay, good. Well, this has been super fun. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause, you guys. Thank you very much. Woo!